Welcome to another episode of ARC Synergy. My name is Angeline. I am a licensed speech language pathologist as well as the founder and CEO of ARC Synergy. ARC Synergy was built to help clinicians with their licensure processes and remove the guesswork around requirements. In today's episode, we're reviewing everything you need to know to obtain your full SLP license. As we go through each requirement, you'll see how this information appears inside the Arc Synergy app, so you can reference it anytime during the video. If you're watching on YouTube, I'd love for you to leave a comment and share how many state licenses you currently hold. And if you're listening on a podcast platform, be sure to leave us a review and follow the show so you can stay up to date on future licensing content. ARC Synergy, a centralized licensure platform built by an SLP for SLPs, designed for practical clinical application. In this episode, we're walking through how to obtain a provisional speech language pathology license in California. So that will include the application steps, the required paperwork, the examination and fingerprinting requirements, along the fees, timeline, and important school-based credential notes. This is a high-level walkthrough for official forms, live scan details, endorsement pathways, and direct links. Everything is organized inside the Arc Synergy app. This applies to speech language pathologists, students, new graduates applying for a California provisional license to complete their clinical fellowship, right? So the provisional license allows you to practice as an SLP while completing the required supervised clinical experience under a California's licensure framework with a licensed supervisor. So the process begins with completing the application using your full name, legal name, and original signature, of course. All application questions must be answered in full, and you must complete the fingerprinting required. If you live in California, you can complete the live scan fingerprinting. If you're an out of state applicant, you must submit two FD 258 fingerprinting cards, which are available through the board's website. Official transcripts must be mailed in sealed envelope from your university or sent electronically by the university registrar's office or through an approved transcript service. Once your application is complete, processing typically takes 1 to 2 weeks based on the board's information, but for California, in my own experience, California usually take a really long time to review their application. So I would apply before you even graduate in the last month or two. You can start your application process then in order for it to be ready on time. Because if your application is incomplete, the processing will take an additional 2 to 3 weeks on top of any additional week it's taking for them to get to your application. Applicants must hold a master's degree in speech language pathology or communication disorders. So the degree must be completed prior to getting your license. Applicants must pass the praxis speech language pathology exam. The exam must have been taken within 5 years prior to filing for the application. Praxis scores must be sent electronically to the California board from practice or ETS. The minimum passing score is 162. California practice reporting code is 8544. So clinical fellowship documentation is required. The fellowship form may be mailed directly to the board by the training program director or included in the application packet. So this is documentation needed for you to apply for the clinical fellowship. So that referring to the practicum, the externship that you have completed throughout the program. Hope you are enjoying this episode so far. Your support is really appreciated. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below to let us know what other state licenses you would like us to cover next. If you're listening to this podcast, please give us a follow and leave a comment to let us know what you think of the show. We would really appreciate it. Now back onto the episode. The application fee is $35. Out of state fingerprinting processing is an additional $49. So the combined application and fingerprint fee for an out of state applicant is $84. So payments must be submitted by check or money order payable to SLPA HADB. Combined payments are accepted for out of state applicants. If you plan to practice in schools, additional credentials may be required. California offers multiple school credential pathways through the Commission on Teacher Credentialing. So, a preliminary services credential may be issued for 2 years while completing the clear credentials requirements. So, a clear service credentials can be earned by meeting one of three options. So, passing the praxis with a 36-week clinical fellowship verification of a valid California SLP license or an ASHA-C's verification letter. These schools' credentials are separate from your state license. Arc Synergy clearly separate licensure and school credential pathways so you can track both accurately. The California Provisional License is tied to you completing your clinical fellowship. So all documentation must be submitted accurately and on time to avoid any delays. So remember the fingerprinting requirements differ for in-state and out-of-state applicants. For question about licensure, you can contact the California board by phone or via email. And these contact informations are always available and up to date inside the Arc Synergy app. If you want to track your application status and you want to verify the fingerprinting requirements or any live update to the requirements, you want to confirm the praxis reporting code, you want to upload fellowship documentation and understand how your school credential fit into the process. Everything we've covered today, plus official links, are available inside the Arc Synergy app. California's provisional licensure steps, the fees, the timeline, and endorsements are all these information are placed together in order in the Arc Synergy app. Arc Synergy, a centralized licensure platform built by an SLP for SLPs, designed for practical clinical application. Thanks for tuning in to today's episode. You'll find download links in the description below, or you can scan the QR code on the screen to get the app on iOS and Android devices. For short step app walkthrough and feature demonstration, follow us on Instagram or TikTok. And for real time licensing updates and rule changes, make sure to follow us on X. If you are looking to connect with other clinicians or ask questions or join any discussion, make sure to join us on Facebook. Our community page is open to all clinicians. If you are watching this on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share comments with any questions. If you're listening on a podcast platform, a quick follow and a review really helps us keeping the show running. Thanks for tuning in.